Hello everyone. So welcome to the part 3.3 of Advanced UiPath Document Understanding series. In this series, we'll take a look at how we can use the Regex Extractor to extract different values from different invoices and different other documents. So, as we discussed in our previous sessions, we talked about different extractors like machine learning extractor and the form extractor. And in today's one, we are very much focused on how we can use regex patterns to extract fields and especially how we can extract data from tables using regex. So, if I'm to show you the two documents. So in our previous sessions, we showcased several sample documents that we can use. So as we saw earlier in the previous video demos, in this document we didn't extract the invoice number and the invoice date. And for this form 4, we created a form extractor and we created a template to extract the top level values, the name, address, and the issuer name, and so on. And we wanted to use regex to extract this selection, the relationship, based on where this X is marked. And also, we wanted to extract this table using this patterns. So, just to show you how we are getting the extraction as of now, we can do a quick run of the process that we have right now to see how it looks like. I'll just do a quick run. And I'll give the file paths. Samples. Before running, I'll close my two documents over here. So you can see it's executing based on what we have created previously. Okay, so this is for form 4. As you see, these are the values we extracted from the template, and we are yet to extract the relationship and the ND securities, this table. So I'll just save it for now. And this is the invoice. So as you see here, it is our AI model is not extracting the invoice number and the invoice date. So this can be trained to, the AI model can be trained to extract these values. But for this particular series, we'll see how we can use the regex extractor without training the AI model. So how we can use regex? So we'll start off with this simple task and then move on to the extraction of the tables and extraction based on where the X is placed in that document, because these two are quite easy and straightforward. So to start off, how we should know what pattern that we have to use to extract these two values. It's based on how the text is extracted from the digitized document activity. So how you can look at the text is by simply clicking on this A Clicking on it will convert or show you the text version of the document, and we can search for what we need to extract, and this is our line. So we need to extract the invoice number and extract this value, and from invoice date we should extract this particular date. So let's copy this into a notepad. So I'm going to place it over here so that we can refer it again when we are building the regex pattern, and we'll stop this execution for now. So we have the text representation, and to get the regex you need to search for regex based extractor. So it's coming under intelligent OCR activities. I will place it over here, and you get this warning because you haven't configured any expressions. So you just need to get to configure expressions, and under invoices we want to extract the invoice number and the invoice date. So you can type the expression here itself, but if you want to build the exception, you can simply go to and click on this edit, which will open the regex builder, and we can build our regex expression over here. So let's take a look at our string. So this is our text of the document, and we can copy it and paste it here in the text extract, so that we can test what we are trying to extract, whether it's extracting the value. And let's start building. So this is our line that we need to extract. So we'll first take a look at how we should extract the invoice number, this section. So for literal, you can, if you are very good in Regex, you can simply go to advanced and type the command, or else if you want to easily build it, you can go through these options. So first one is a literal. So I would say I want to look for invoice number. So you can see while I type, it highlights the matching text. So it's the invoice number, and then we have a small space. So I'm not going to add space over here. It is also possible, but the best approach is, without adding a space here, add a new regex and look for white space over here. And that white space can be 0, or you might not have a white space, and you might also have more than one white spaces. So it could be this, or it could be this one. So I'll go ahead with 0 or more. And next one is the invoice number that we need to extract. And these numbers could be, it could have characters, it can have numbers, it can have special characters like what you see over here. So it could be anything. So without giving a pattern, the best approach would be go with anything, and this anything can be again at least one or more. And you can see as soon as I said that, this entire line is getting highlighted. So we'll see how we can fix that, because it's mandatory to have an invoice number. So we know that it should have at least one of anything, or it can have more than that. So, and this thing is what I need to extract. So I'm going to say capture this anything. So whatever is placed after this white space, I need to extract that as my value. So you can see this part is getting highlighted in yellow, but I only want to extract this particular section, and I don't want the text after this white space. So we'll fix that. All you need to do is just add a new regex, and what we have next is a white space. So again, go with white space, and this could be, it could be at least one or more spaces, because we know that we have a value over here. So I'm saying at least one or more, and this I'm not capturing, but still you have this uh, part highlighted in yellow, because we need to say from where this is going to end. And the next line is, what we have next is the invoice date. So we'll add a new line and say look for invoice date, and as soon as you give that, uh, it highlights the section that we need to extract. So this is how we can build a simple regex to extract particular fields, a simple field. So let's save this. So I want to show you one more thing. If I remove this capture, it highlights this particular part, but it won't say what you are going to extract. So you need to specify what you need to extract. That's why we have this capture over here. So I want to capture the number, and that's what I have marked, and it's extracting that. And I would say that's a good regex for me to use. So I'll save this, and here you can see the regex pattern that we built. And the next one is the invoice date. So let's go to edit, and we have the Regex Builder again, and we'll place our text over here, and this time I'm going to look for invoice date, and I need to provide a pattern. So we can provide this the brackets like this, or there's another way of doing it. The best way is to add space here, add a new line, and specify that bracket with something like this. This can be in advanced. What we specified here is this bracket could be a circular one, as you see here, or it can be a square bracket, or what you see here, because we have different types of brackets that we can use. So this is the ideal approach to use that. So whatever the bracket you see here could be this, or it could be this square, it should pick it. Okay, let me paste this text again, and next I need to give the pattern that we have here, dd slash slash y, and for the closing bracket is the other way around of this. So within square, I'm going to advanced, and I'm going to provide the closing side of it so that it gives you the full text. And along with this, I will add another one, which I need to add the semicolon. And what we have next is the date that we need to extract. and I need another white space. Now we can provide the pattern for the date that we should extract. So this contains numbers. So I can say it should contain a digit with at least one or more, and this I need to extract. So I'm saying capture plus I need to capture the slash as well. So I'm going to say I'm looking for this particular slash and I need to extract that as well. And I will say again I have a digit with at least one or more, need to capture. So you can provide this with the advanced type, but I'm showing you the easy way of building it so that if you are not familiar with regex, you can still easily build that expression as you see down here. So I need to give the slash again and capture. So this is how you capture multiple fields or multiple uh, text that you need to extract. And it's again a digit, at least 0 or more, capture. And again we have a slash. Capture. Okay, draw, and this again is a digit, at least one more, and I should capture that. So why it's not highlighting? Let's see that. Okay, yeah. Let's see how this works now. So this is what I need to extract, and we have the pattern over here. Though it's not highlighting here, let's see whether our pattern works. And I'll click on save. We have it here, and let's okay, something went wrong. So I'm providing the values again for our pattern. uh, yeah, so over here we have um, the pattern built, and we can see the values that we need to extract. So earlier something went wrong. Okay, so now it works, and let's click on save, and we have the pattern built and save. So we have two patterns built for our two fields, and the next thing that you need to do is go to configure extractors, and now for invoices we need to use the machine learning extractor along with the regex extractor. So we are going to say machine learning extractor should extract all the invoices or the fields, and along with that I'm going to say allow the regex extractor also to extract the invoice number based on the pattern and also the invoice date, and save. So now let's see whether this gives us the value that we want to extract. So I'm just going to run it. And over here I will give my folder path. So we have two documents in that folder. We'll ignore the first one, the form 4 for now. Okay, so we got the form 4. I'll just save it because we didn't do anything for that yet. And now we have the invoice extraction. So as you see here, our patterns that we provided is being extracted, and it gives us the two values for invoice number and the invoice date, and with the confidence level of 100% because it exactly matches the pattern. So that's how you simply provide a regex to extract simple fields like this based on the text pattern. In the next part, we will see how we can use the uh, regex to extract values from that table. So I'll just save this for now, and I need to quickly run that run the same process again to get the text representation of form 4 to see or to extract the pattern or to look at the pattern that we need to extract. So I'll just go to work down. Because it's purely based on the text pattern, we need to always look at that pattern that we need to extract. So this should give me the validation station, and I'm not interested in this image right now, so I'm only interested in where this X is placed and how the data looks like in this table. So we are going to look at the text representation, and if I search for the X is placed section, here you can see that particular set of lines. So X director, and we have the 10% owner, the and where are the rest? The rest is officer, give title below. So we'll see where that is. Now we can copy this into a notepad and look for that. That would be much easier. So here we have the director, and we'll see where the officer is. Yes. Yeah, so the officer is over here, and what we have next is officer specified below. So we have two officers. Give title. Yeah. Okay, so we need to give the position of this X based on this pattern. So let's see how we can do that now. And over here, if you scroll down, you can see the text of the table that we need to extract. So this is the table range between table 1 and table 2, as you see over here. This is table 1 and table 2, and we are going to extract the text in between that. And if you look at the representation, this is how it looks like. So we have the first column, the dates, and the other values. So let's see how we can build a regex for that as well. So we'll start off with this one to see from where we can get the X. So ideally, this should over here in this relationship, it is having a drop down. So if we specify like this has a drop down list as we specified in the taxonomy. So it should, based on where this X is placed, it should automatically pick the proper drop down item from this list and show it over here. So for this particular one, the result should be something similar to this. Okay, so let's close this for now, and we'll go to the regex based extractor to see how we can do that. So in our case, we'll look at this particular section because this is where we have the values to extract. And going back to Regex Extractor, I'll be going to form 4, and relationship is the field that I need to extract. Going for edit and have my text over here. So I'll start by looking at how we can get the value. So we have the character X over here. So the first thing I'm looking for is the X. And next I have a space. And next is the text that I need to extract. So this text is similar to what we have in our taxonomy. So we need to provide as it is. So what I need to extract, whether it's director or something else. So in our first scenario, it is the word director, and this director could be at least one or more, and I'm going to capture this as my value because in the drop down we have the text director, 10% owner, and so on, and we need to match that particular text. So director is what I'm looking for the first scenario, and the next scenario is if this X is placed somewhere next to officer in the document. So if I open the document, if the X is placed in front of officer, then I need to look for that as well. So in our current regex, it only looks for director. So let's see how we can provide that condition. So it should be either this one or either officer. So we need to add a or condition. Adding a or condition is going over here, selecting advanced and providing this as the or representation in Regex, and then I need to specify. So in our sample text we don't have the X next to officer, we have it next to director. So we'll assume that we get the pattern X over here like this, and this won't be there, and we need to extract this particular section. So again I will look for X and a Y space, and then the next literal is officer, and this has to be at least one or more, and that's what I'm going to extract. So if I copy paste this thing over here, yeah, this has the X next to that, so I'll edit it over here itself, and let's see how this looks like. Yeah, and we get the officer. So whatever the edits you do here sometimes won't represent in the accurate way, so do it somewhere else and copy it over here, and it shows you the exact uh, result. And we need to do that similarly to 10% owner and for other. So again, add a new line, go to advanced, the or condition, and this time again it's X is what I'm looking for, and the vice versa, and the 10% owner, and this is what I need to extract. So if I do the change over here, and copy this again, it gives me the answer. And for the last one, again it's the or condition, and the literal is again the letter X and the Y space, and the one last thing is the other, and there can be multiple letter others, so I will specify the remaining part of the text as well, just in case, at least one or more, and I need to extract this. And doing the change over here, we'll see how this works, and you get that particular section. And if you can do this as well. So just to verify, we will see whether we have any other patterns that's matching to that. We don't have any, and we are getting the proper answer. So we can save this, and so we have marked it as capture and save, and save again. So let's see how that actually works before we continue to the table. So this execution should give me the folder selection, and I'm selecting the folder path, view series, sample. Oh, I actually forgot to do one thing. So in the Regex Extractor, we configured uh, the regex, but we didn't configure the extractor to actually extract the relationship from the Regex Extractor. So I have moved that now and save, and let's try that now again. So I'm selecting my folder path, samples, and I'll just close the document. And in the drop down now, if we look at this relationship, we can see it's highlighting the letter or the word, the director, based on our pattern, and it has captured director accurately from the drop down. So that's how you use regex to identify where a specific character is and select a value from a predefined drop down accurately. So in the next section of this same video, we'll see how we are going to extract the values from this table. So let's close this for now. And extracting values from a table is going to be tricky, and because you need a lot of patterns to extract each and every field, as you see over here. And this table itself has columns and sub-columns as well. So we need to figure out, we need to actually go into this sub-column level to extract the fields we need. So we'll see how we can define the table range and how we can use simple regex to identify each column value and extract these key values into our output. So in here, this is how our text looks like. So as you see, we first need to define the table range. So it's starting from table 1 and ending at table 2, and in the middle, because we have sub columns, we can use some of these other keywords like INSTR, for example, to identify from where the columns are starting. So let's see how we can do that. So coming back to the workflow, let's see how we can add those table into the regex. So we are going to configure expressions in Regex based extractor, expand form 4, and over here we will locate the table. So ND securities is the table that I marked in taxonomy. So you can see a simple description over here. For this table, it says regex for table content. And if we have not provided the regex for the table, by default it will consider the entire document as a table from the string that it converts from the document. And for rows over here, regex for individual rows. If it's not provided, default to each line in table content, which means, so this is our text that we extracted from the document. If you remember, we went to text format in the validation station and got this text. So for the table row, if we look at it as we saw earlier, The first table starts from table 1 and ends with table 2, and whatever in between that can be considered as the table. So similarly, if we take the text representation, we see table 1, and somewhere down here we see table 2, and these are the individual lines. So if we give a regex that specifies the text between table 1 and table 2, that can be added as the regex for the table. And for rows, we can provide, or we can stay without providing. If we do not provide, this individual line will be considered as a row. Okay, so we can provide a regex for the table. So all you need to do is go to edit, and I have this regex with me. So let me copy and paste this text over here so we can see how it highlights. And I'll be using the regex which I have built earlier. So I will go to advanced because it's much easier, and paste my regex over here. So what basically it does is it basically extracts all the text between table 1 and table 2. So if we actually look over here, you could see that it's highlighting from table 1 and ends with table 2. So this is what we need to extract for the table. So basically what we are doing is, from this entire string, we are kind of taking out a particular part of it based on this regex, and that particular text or string will be processed and broken down into multiple values based on the regex patterns we provide to each and every field over here. Alright, so we have done that, and I'm going to click on save. So this is our regex for the table, and the first one is quite easy, the title. As you see here, it says class A common stop, and this A letter can differ, so we can use it. We can use a simple regex over there, and go to edit again, and I'm going to paste. So I'm not going to paste this entire string now. So I'll just paste a part of it for us to test, like this. And I will say first one is the class, and whatever comes next, the letter, could be anything. So it can be any character, um, any word character, which can have, so could be at least one or more depending on whatever is there. And next is a white space. Coming up next is the common stop. So this has to be white space. Okay, now you see it's highlighting these particular lines, and I need to extract all of them. So I will mark all the pattern, the full pattern, as capture. So that's one. And next one is the transaction date. So if we take a look at the document, you can see the date pattern. And if we look at the text, this is our pattern that we are looking for. So what we can do is, we can simply create a pattern for that. So again, I'm going to paste this string over here, and I will say I need 2 digits, and there is a slash, and again it's 2 digits, um, and the slash, and finally I have the year, which is represented by 4 digits. So this is my pattern, and you can see that it's identifying that particular date. So again, I need to extract this full thing, and I have marked that and click on save. And the next one is, so over here it's again a date, but we don't have a value there. So what we can do is we can simply use the same pattern but with a slight difference, because if you take a look at the line, if we have a date, it should show up somewhere over here, something like 0619, something like this. So in this scenario, we need to identify the pattern. So if we give the same pattern, we will get both dates. So we should say, we should capture the date that's ending after a number. So that particular condition, if we provide that, we could easily capture that. So let's again get a few of this, and we'll go to this particular date. And all I'm doing now is I just have the regex I did for the previous one. This is my regex. So you can see that it's highlighting both. And what I'm trying to do now is I will say this has to end with a number, and then followed by a space, and then the date. This is what I need to extract. And I will save. And similarly, the transaction code. So over here it's a single character. So what we can do is we can simply get over here, and we can say, if we paste the pattern over here, so text over here, and we can say this letter should come after a white space, and it can be literal or any word character that's of length um, length of 1, followed by another white space, and digit, something like this. So you see that it's identifying what we need to extract. So out of that, I only need the word character. So this is the letter I need to extract, and I will click on save next. So this is our pattern. Likewise, you can do for security amount and for the other patterns. So when it comes to amount, it's a little bit different. Here we have the amount, and we also have a character again after the amount. So you can do a simple thing over there. So I will do this. go for security amount, paste the pattern again. So this should start with any character. So for that I can use this same. So I would go for advanced, copy this section so that we can modify, and I will remove the brackets because the bracket is saying that I need to extract that as well. Advanced, and this is followed by a set of digits. Mm, you can say it can be more formal, and followed by a comma, and again a set of digits can be 0 or more. Yeah, this has to be 0 or more. Alright, so this is our pattern again, and this is what we need to extract, and I need the value this 3. So that's how easily you can extract the values. This will look much better. Okay, so I will save this, and we can see how these values are extracted. And we can save and go to the extractors, go to form 4. I will say I need the title, transaction date, team date, transaction code, and the security amount. So these are the things we created. Click on save. Okay, so let's run this and see what the output we get for this particular document. So ideally it should extract, it should identify the table, and it should extract the values of those fields. So this is my folder selection. Suppose so it's extracting, and here we have the validation station, and we can see some of the values have already extracted. As in, okay, so this is invoice. Let's ignore this because we are looking at the form flow. Okay, so let me run this again. Maybe a network problem. So it's running again. And we have form 4. So here we can see that it has highlighted the values that we are looking for. So if we scroll down and expand this, we can see it has perfectly identified the rows over here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, and all 5 rows are available. And the date, we have only for 4 rows, and that's already captured. This we don't have. And we have extracted the transaction code and also the amount without any issue. So this is how we extract the values using regex from a table. So you might wonder whether this pattern match something outside this table. So let's say, for example, if we had data in this table, this particular pattern should have matched with some value over there as well, right? So what's limiting that is the regex we provided for the table. So as I mentioned earlier, the regex we provided for the table was highlighting only from table 1 to table 2. So this particular section. And the patterns we provide for each and every column over there will only look for that particular match inside this string that we provide for the table. So that's how easy you can build a regex to extract values from a table. So now you know the basics of using regex to extract values. So we are left with a couple of columns over here. So this challenge is for you. So once you have covered all this, try building your regex pattern to extract the values for the remaining columns and see how it works. And let me know your answers, and we'll see who comes up with the correct answers. And if you need any help, just drop me a message and I'll be here to help you guys as usual. So this comes to the end of the regex extractor video, and in the next session we'll look at how to extract handwritten data using intelligent form extractor. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed and found something new during this session. And talk to you soon.